Hello and welcome to the Playcast. This is Aaron. I haven't done this in a while, 2 or 3 months, I guess. It's probably been. Wasn't really planning on taking that much time off, but after playing through 2 years of Stardew Valley, I guess I needed a bit of a break. So I've played some games since then, but I didn't sit down and do the whole recording thing. And then when I did decide I wanted to do it again, I had a little trouble getting OBS and all the pieces to work together again, because I had upgraded everything in the meantime. So let me check something here. Make sure I've got... Yeah, I guess levels are what they are. I guess I have to move closer to the microphone if I want more power. So yeah, as I said, it's been a while, but I've been wanting to get back to it. I can't even remember if I've uploaded the last month of Stardew yet, but in fact I was thinking about playing some more of that again, but I don't think I'm going to do that just yet. So, the game I'm playing here, that I've been playing lately, is Eador Genesis, and I guess that's how you pronounce it. I'm just guessing. It's a Russian game. Russian-made game. The game is in English, and all the wording in the game, you wouldn't even know it was foreign-made. It's all the English in it is quite good, so it's not a problem. From what I understand, the Russians like their games fairly complex and hard, and this is definitely an example of that. I got it from Good Old Games, GOG.com. It might have been free. It was either free or like $2. You know, it was really cheap if it wasn't free. And I certainly recommend it. For that price. I don't think it was even on sale. I think it's just cheap. The thing is, they made a new version, Eador Masters of the Broken World, I think is what it's called. And as I understand it, it's just an updated graphical. It's a graphically updated version of this. It's basically the same game, as far as from what I've read, except that it has 3D graphics and the interface is updated. And then people will say that the interface on this is kind of old and out of date. I personally find it fine. I mean, there's things I would do to improve it, but that's true of every game I've ever played for more than a few minutes. I mean, there's always something where you think, why didn't they, give you an option here, or a keyboard, a key, a keystroke there, or something like that. But I think it's pretty well put. I think it's really well put together game, and I think it's a great game. But I think this version of it is just fine. So if you go looking for the game, I would say just get this one. And try it, and then if you like the game, but you think the graphics and the interface are too old for you in some way, then you might check out Masters of the Broken World. I think it's more like $15-20. I mean, I think it's a little more of an expense. But this one, Eador Genesis, is really cheap. Let's see here. I'm not at the beginning of the game, but I'm at the beginning of a level, you could call it, or an episode. The game kind of goes in episodes. They're called shards, but I'll get into why that is. This is going to be spoilery all over the place, so there is a story here as part of this game. I wouldn't say the story is a big part of the game, but there is a story that goes along with it. And at the beginning, the tutorial sort of introduces you to who you are in the game and what's actually going on in kind of an interesting way. So if you don't like being spoiled for things and you think you want to play this, I would suggest, stop this video, go ahead and, get the game for $2 or whatever it is. Play through the tutorial and go through the conversation that happens after the tutorial, and that'll introduce you to what I'm going to say now. I'm recovering from a cold here, so hopefully I won't be too. Hopefully I won't be. I'll try not to sniffle too much or cough too much. I'm a little stuffed up. But yeah, if if you don't like being spoiled, if you want to come into it completely clean, play the tutorial and go through the conversation that happens after that, and that'll introduce you to what's going on in the game, because you start out not knowing, and then you learn it through the tutorial, and then after that you know what's going on. Well, I guess you still learn things. I still don't know the whole story, but that gets you the basics. So, having said that, now I'll go on with the spoilery stuff. The premise here is that you are some sort of demigod or god or something in this universe of Eador, and Eador is sort of this big, I don't know if it's big actually, but it is sort of a place in the universe. And like I said, I don't know the whole story yet, so I may not be getting all this right, but the general idea is that the world has been broken up into shards, and all these shards are floating around, like you see in the picture here. All these shards are floating around in this place, this sort of expanse called the astral. Sorry. And in between order and chaos. So order is trying to pull all the shards back together into one orderly world, and chaos is trying to eat the shards up so that there can be just nothing but chaos. And you, as the player, are trying to put enough shards together to form your own world that can withstand chaos. And there are other masters. You're one of the masters then, and there are other masters out there who are also trying to do the same thing. And ultimately, every master wants to be the one who controls all of Eador, all of the shards put back together into one world. Some of them are more warlike with you than others. Some of them are more willing to cooperate and things like that. But anyway, that's the general idea. And so it's a game where you are sort of, you're sort of the master over things, but you don't do things directly. You hire heroes to do your stuff for you, and the heroes themselves can hire soldiers and so on. But all at your bidding. They don't do anything on their own. This isn't like Majesty, unfortunately. I really like Majesty, where the heroes actually think for themselves and go about doing their own thing, and you have to entice them with rewards and things. But this is good. It's just not that. So you'll see what I'm talking about when I get into it. But that's the idea, is that you go, and so that's why I say they're kind of episodic, because you go to a shard, hire heroes, conquer that shard, get control of that shard so that you can bring it into your world with your other shards. You keep adding to your world, as you conquer shards, you keep adding them to your world. And sometimes you're just fighting off other local masters on that shard. Sometimes you're fighting off other masters from the astral who know what's going on. And where I'm at in this case is a little different. Something that hasn't happened to me before in the game is that one of the other masters in the astral, I just defeated him on a shard, and so I won that shard away from him, and now he's attacked me on my world, on the world that I've so far is made up of the shards I've put together. So I'm continuing my campaign here, and that's where we're going to be. And I thought this might be a good one to start with, because my world is fairly small still at this point. This is all there is. Oh, crud. Windows crash. I'm playing this in Wine, by the way. I guess I could mention that. Hasn't really been playing that long. I'm surprised it crashed. It has crashed once in a while, just because that's what Windows programs do. They crash once in a while. But it usually hasn't crashed except when it's been running for a while. So we'll see how it goes. I had to mess with some things to get it to run. Now I'm going to... Hopefully I'm not going to start coughing now that I'm talking. I haven't been talking the last few days any more than I could help. Okay, so here's the deal. I'm up against this guy, and this is my world. Normally you can't see the whole world. You have to explore it, but because this is my world and he's attacking me on my world, I get to see the whole thing. So each one of these plots, or whatever you'd call them, I forget what it calls them, provinces. Each province has creatures in it, usually, although it is possible to have a dead province, but it has creatures in it. It has a type like hills or plains or swamps or forests or whatever, and depending on all those things, that determines like what resources you can get out of it, all that kind of stuff. So if you've played any kind of games like Heroes of Might and Magic, Wesnoth is a good one that's somewhat similar in some, well, no, I wouldn't even say that. It's not even very similar, other than just the hex layout of things. But anyway, so you've got your provinces, and you start out with a castle in your sort of your headquarters province, and basically you have to defeat the enemy. You have to take the enemy's castle and keep your own castle from being taken. That's the bottom line. And money is probably the most important thing, just because everything costs money. There's two things you have to spend: money and gems. Money tends to be for more mundane things, just like hiring soldiers and buying equipment, stuff like that. Gems is for more magical things, for casting spells and so on. So, usually the way I play, so far anyway, I'm always running out of money long before gems, and I usually end up with piles of gems I don't need. So, okay, so what else do we need to know here? We'll get into hiring heroes in a second here. So you get your money down here at the bottom, money and gems. Now there's pretty good keyboard controls for a lot of things, but not for everything, which, like I said, that's one of those annoying things that bugs me. Like your statistics page here doesn't have a keystroke to get to it, but your statistics page will show you all kinds of stuff. The most important thing being your current balance. So right now I'm generating 25 gold per turn and 15 gems per turn. So you'd like to keep that in the plus if you can. My opponent is this Eador guy. He's the one that came and attacked me. You can also see your list of provinces, and that's not very long yet because I only have the one. I'm currently Banner of the Kind. That's because I've been playing mostly on the good side of things. This is one of those games where you can play sort of good or evil. There are a lot of little events that let you go one way or the other. It also depends on what kind of magic you use, what kind of hirelings you hire. All that stuff is affected by your either good or evil disposition. And so kind is a little bit on the good side. It's not extremely on the good side, but a little bit. The first time I started playing, I was using certain spells that let you bring dead bodies back as on the battlefield as zombies and skeletons and stuff like that. And then I noticed I couldn't hire. Well, I could hire the good hirelings. That's not the word I'm looking for, but I can't think of the mercenaries. That's the word I'm looking for. I could hire the good ones, but they didn't want to be in my army. They had real low morale scores when I did. And then I did a little looking into it and found out, oh, that's because they see me as evil and they don't want to be in my army. So I had to start the game over anyway. because I wanted to play it in Wine. I was playing it in VirtualBox and Windows and VirtualBox. It's a Windows only game, and it was just kind of rough in VirtualBox. The mouse would get stuck and things, and so I thought, well, I've never had tons of luck with Wine. It's kind of hit or miss. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So I'll try it, and so far so good. Like I said, once in a while it crashes, usually right after starting a new shard, so it's not a big deal. But let's see, a few more things. You see these little squares, those are provinces that have a special resource. So this one here is an iron bar, so that one has iron. This one is mandrake. This one is wood. This one's horses. So you want to get those because when you start buying stuff, let's see, like here, if I want to buy the workshop, well, the workshop requires wood, and so if I have wood, if I have a wood, one of those wood provinces, this will be cheaper. And as you get, like here, the foundry, since I don't have an iron province yet, those little iron things, it requires 3 irons, and so I think they must cost, well, let's see, yeah, they must cost 15 each. Iron must cost 15 each right now, and so instead of being 90, which is the base price for the foundry, it's 135. So you save a lot of money if you have your own resources, basically, and don't have to buy them on the open market. Okay, this page that I'm in right now, I'll go back to it. It's down here in the stronghold page. This is where you can buy all the buildings for your stronghold that allow you to do things like these up here. These buildings up here allow you to buy various soldiers, various recruits. These here have to do with trade and items you can buy. There's some here that have to do with magic, different spells you can get. These have to do with equipment. And then these have to do with the temple, have to do with magic. There's not really religion in this game, I guess. There's kind of typical game religion where it's just, well, you can be good or bad and it's fine. It's not very deep. A lot of these things are grayed out because there's a development tree, so you've got to have this before you can get that, and so on, and so things light up as you get the things that depend on them. Now, normally, none of this stuff is already bought for you, but it looks like a few things are this time because normally not so much stuff is already available. So I guess, like I said, I haven't the first, let's see, yeah, the forge has already been bought for me. So I guess, like I said, this is kind of a different scenario than I'm used to. Usually the scenarios just start cold. With this one, with me being attacked on my own world, some things are already built for me, which I guess that's kind of nice. So you can only build one of these things per turn, so you have to think about what you're doing. As soon as you build it, you can use it, but you can only build one per turn. So first of all, I need to get some heroes. So here's your 4 hero types. You've got the warrior, who is basically a tank that just chops things up. He can use spells, but he'll never get very good at them. He's just basically, you can get him up to enough strength that he can just wade through a whole opposing army and chop it up by himself. The scout is kind of a catch-all, is good with a bow from a distance, also somewhat good with magic. The scout's best at exploring and doing diplomacy and things like that. The commander is the best at commanding troops. He's the one that can command the most troops, they each kind of have their specialties that they can do better than any of the others. But his main thing is commanding troops and getting them to fight better. He's not a great. He can fight a little bit himself, but he's not a great fighter. And the wizard is basically all magic. Now, when they get to level 10, and this confused me at first, but when they get to level 10, then they can multi-class. They can either stay in their own class and get really good at that one thing, or they can multi-class into one of the other classes. So if you start out as, say, a wizard, and you get to level 10, then you can become a super wizard. I think they call it an arch wizard or something like that. Or you might say, let's become a wizard warrior, and then there's a name for that. I forget what it is, but then you have the option from that point on to add some warrior skills to your wizard, and you'll never become as powerful a wizard as you could have been, but you'll get to be somewhat of a warrior too. So you can kind of become a merger of two after level 10, or you can stay as one pure thing. And I think there's interesting advantages to either one. So what I've been doing, and I guess this will probably work as well on this. This is kind of a small shard. I think this will work as well here as anywhere. What I've been doing is I hire a scout, and I'm also playing on beginner, because beginner is hard enough in this game. What I've been doing, and you'll notice the scout price just went up to 5,000. So basically, it's very expensive to get more than one of each kind of hero. So you're going to want to get all four before you get another one of one. It's like building Monopoly houses. It makes sense to build them evenly. So what I've been doing is getting a scout and a warrior. And I use the scout to explore, and I use the warrior to kill stuff. And that's how I've been doing it. So that's how I'm going to start out this time. Okay, so my scout is named Lartan, and he's got a patch on his eye, it looks like. There he is. You can probably change that. I've never bothered. You can probably change those things, I guess, maybe. I don't know. I just haven't bothered with it. This is his information page. You've got all his equipment right here. Right now, he's got some bow and some arrows. He's got 2 henchmen that came with him when you hired him. He's got no spells yet, and he's got no quests yet. You can pick up quests different places. All this stuff is his statistics right now. I'm not going to go into everything right now. There's basically lots of different numbers that go into what he's able to do, how good he is at each thing. The main thing is your hit points. That's 20. He's got 20 out of 20 right now. I'll mention other things as we go along. And then he's got a couple. He's a scout. His only skill right now is reaction, but he'll get a chance to learn other skills. Okay, look at the other guy. He's my warrior. His name is Tonkar. His skill that he started with is willpower. He's got a short spear and a wooden shield, and he's also got 2 henchmen to start. No spells, no quests. Okay. And he's got 25 hit points. So the warrior can get up over 100 hit points. I don't know if anybody else can get that high. Okay, so now let's go through the things they can do. This first panel here is the shop, and this is where they can buy stuff. So my warrior here, the different classes can use different stuff. The warrior can use any weapons, any armor, but the other classes can't necessarily use it all. So we're going to get him a chainmail. Actually, hold on a second. Got some stuff already in my... got some stuff already down here. I guess none of it really helps him, because this shield is a defense +1. This shield is a range defense +1, which range defense means when people shoot at you from a distance. Regular defense is when they attack you hand-to-hand. He's probably going to be doing more hand-to-hand attacking, so we'll switch those two. And we'll get him a armor thingy. Chainmail. Alright, so with your weapons, you've got attack and counterattack with melee weapons, anyway. Attack is when you initiate the attack. Counterattack is when somebody attacks you. You always get except in certain circumstances, you normally get a counterattack for each attack. And so you can be good at one, you can be better at one than the other, which adds a little tactical strategy sometimes. Okay. Spells. These would be his spells. He's got room for 3 first-level spells here. And these are the only ones currently available, which are just crappy little things. So I'm just going to give him 3 of these magic sparks. They don't do much damage, but they're all we got right now. And then you've got the recruitment page. And for some reason I have a couple of thieves I can already get. Thieves are evil. So if I hire evil thieves, then they won't get along well with good characters that I hire later. But you've got a slinger here. The slinger throws rocks. Slingers are neutral. And the militiaman is neutral. So they don't care good or evil wise unless it gets extreme one way or the other. So to back up Tonkar here, I'm going to take a militiaman and 2 slingers. And they're mostly going to watch while he stomps people. Okay, Lartan. See, Lartan has his bow and arrows. Now, this bow is ranged attack of 6 at a range of 5 and 4 ammo, meaning you can shoot 4 times with this thing. And then this gives you ammo plus 4. And let's see, right here, once you total it up, his ammo is 8. So he can shoot 8 times before he runs out of ammo. That's 4 from that and 4 from that. So basically, add any equipment he has that has an ammo plus, you just add them all up. So now this one, let's put these down here where I can compare them. So this is ranged attack, does 6 damage. This only does 5, the crossbow. Range of 5, only a range of 4. But the crossbow gives you 2 more ammo. And it gives you an armor-piercing shot, which means you'll do more damage when the other guy is wearing armor. So I'm going to take the crossbow. I'll keep the short bow in his inventory just in case, but I think the crossbow is a little better. Even though it doesn't shoot quite as far, which is a pain. But now he can't wear the chainmail because he's only he's basically a ranger or something like that would be in some games, but this game calls him a scout. Be a thief in D&D. Basically, it means leather armor only. So I have to wait until I've got that available. Get him some spells also. I don't know how long this is going to take to conquer this shard. Walking through it like this, it could be a long series. Now I'm going to get him to militiamen because basically, here, let's do this. Let's put that guy back in the garrison. Switch heroes and switch those. So we'll give Tonkar 3 slingers to stand behind him and sling at things while he's stomping. And we'll give Lartan 3 militiamen to stand behind because that's kind of the other way around with him. Okay, now you can have each of your heroes do something each turn. They can go places, of course. You can say, oops, hero cannot reach. Well, why wouldn't he? Oh, okay. Huh, weird. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. I never tried to do that before. Anyway, I can go into any of the 6 neighboring provinces, and I can click on them to see what's in them. This one's Swamp. It's a free settlement. That's what type of province it is, what type of people are there. It's settled by humans. If I conquer it, it'll give me 2 more gold and 3 more gems per turn. That's the income from it currently. It's a hamlet size, which I think is pretty small. They grow as time goes by. The populations grow until they get to a certain point. So as they grow, I think the income grows as well. This one's also a swamp, but this one's inhabited by lizard men. Basically, it gives you an idea what you'll have to fight if you go there. This one, you probably have to fight 4 lizard men. And things get tougher as you get further away from your headquarters, although I think after you get about 3 provinces out, it kind of levels off after that. But anyway, this is a large village of humans, which is worth 10 per turn. Again, it's a free settlement, so you'd probably be fighting like 4 people, 4 humans of some sort, militiamen and slingers and such. Another free settlement here of plains. Another one. There's a forest that has brigand outlaws in it, so you'd be fighting some kind of outlaws there. Okay. So this is the whole world so far. Everything you can see here. There's the bad guy. He's over here in this one, so I'll have to keep an eye on him, what he's up to. He's got horses right there. He's got iron right there, but it's red, which means he's gonna have to take it away from something, from some kind of creatures. He's got mandrake down here. He's got this blue stuff. I forget what the blue stuff is called, but it's a less common mineral of some sort. He doesn't have any wood over there, which is gonna means that that's gonna be a bit of an expense for him unless he can get over here and conquer this wood. So I've got a little bit of an advantage, I would say, in that I have wood and iron both close by. Wood and iron and horses, so I think I'm going to take this one right here first, and then get the wood and iron, and basically I'll try to get these 6 right around here pretty quick, and then work out from there. But these 3 will be ones I want pretty soon. Now, before any of my guys move, I could do 1 building if there's something that would help me before I do move. Like I could create one of these schools so that I could recruit something better from them, rather than just the militiamen and slingers that I started with. I think I'm going to hold off on that. Another thing I could do is create one of these schools of wizardry. Well, that one's tempting right there, because that would let me replace my crappy little magic sparks with magic arrows, which are much better. Yeah, I think that's what we're going to do. Oh, that's loud. I don't know if you can hear the game, because I couldn't get sound to work with wine and OBS, because OBS requires pulse audio, and I couldn't get wine to work with pulse audio, so I don't know if you're hearing the sound from the game. Maybe you'll pick it up, just pick it up on the mic, but okay, so let's go back here, and now I've got more spells, because I just added that school of magic. So I'm going to change my little sparks here to these magic arrows. They do a lot more damage. Okay. As I said, one thing you can do is go somewhere and try to conquer a province, or just check out the province. Another thing you can do is explore the province that you're standing in. If you do that, it'll say explore province, and that'll be what you'll do on the next turn. This is all turn-based, so nothing happens in the turn until you say end turn. But if, like right now, this province says it's 40% explored. So if you explore it more, you can find more stuff. And the stuff you find is in these locations. And if you say enter building, you can enter any locations that have already been discovered. So there's two things have already been discovered in this province. One is an abandoned temple, which contains clerics, and the other one is an enchanted pool, which contains swamp creatures. Those are probably both too tough for me to take on at this time, so I'm not going to enter either one. But that's a lot of what you do in the game to make money, is clean out locations like that. And you'll also find resources in them and things like that. So a lot of times, especially early in the game, you clean out as many locations as you can. Okay, so let's do something here. I said we're going to go, somebody's going to go to the brigands here. Let's have our scout go there. And let's have our warrior go, well, shucks. So many human settlements, I guess. Let's have him go to that one. Okay, so the scout's going to go in the forest and probably fight brigands, and the warrior's going to go down here and fight humans. Like I said, nothing happens until you say end turn, and so you can set things up, and it'll remind you if one of your guys hasn't been assigned to do anything, because you basically never want to do that. Anything else? Okay, there are rituals you can do sometimes, but you've got to accumulate them first. Okay, let's go ahead and go end turn. Alright, now this is what you get a lot of. Each turn, certain things can happen. So, my scout here, Lartan, went into the forest and has entered the province of Unicorn Forest. Usually I don't read these very closely. I just get to where I skim for certain things. Number of enemies, 4 is the main thing. And also the following things were spotted amongst them: brigand, thief, and bowman. So once you play for a while, you start to recognize, okay, the bowman is probably the most dangerous thing here because he can shoot at you from across the way. The brigand has to run up to you before he can attack you. The thief has to run most of the way to you, and he can throw a little knife at you from like 2 squares away. But with only 4 of them, it's probably 2 brigands, 1 thief, and 1 bowman. I can probably handle them. And Lartan is saying the enemy is doomed. When you play on beginner, he tries to give you, your heroes try to give you advice. It's not always good. Sometimes they'll say something like, the enemy stands no chance, and then you get destroyed. So you have to use your own sense too. But a lot of times they're right. So I can attack, or I can retreat, in which case I will just not have, I'll just be back in the headquarters. Or I can try to negotiate. Now, negotiation depends on, for one thing, some your skills. You need diplomacy skill to do much negotiating, but if you have that, then sometimes you can get them to take money to become your recruits. But he doesn't have that ability, so we just have to attack or retreat, and we're just going to attack. Okay. And I actually took a little damage there. Alright, before each battle starts, you got to set up your pieces. You got to set up your people. You have all this area on the left where you can set your people. I guess it's 16. Yeah, 16 hexes. So you just put them wherever you want them. I'm going to put them way down here to give me plenty of time before they get over here. Now, all this terrain has important meanings. Your people generally move the best over plains over empty, empty plain ground. The forest hexes like these here give you some cover, but they're also slower to move through. The swamp hexes hurt your stats and are harder to move. I think they might be the hardest to move through. The mountains and the lakes can't be moved through unless you're flying, and so on. So, generally, I just move down here because it's going to take them longer to get down here, and it'll give me a chance to shoot at them as they come. So, once you've got all your guys situated, then you hit E for end turn, and the battle starts. Now, depending on initiative, you might show up first and have to. In this case, I could see where his guys were because I got to go second. If you have to go first, you can't see where his guys are, but you get to go first, so it's trade-off. Now this is all turn-based, so now it's my scout's turn to shoot, or do whatever he's going to do. If I could reach any of them with my bow, then they would have a target around them. They don't, so I can't. But what I can do is select a spell and whack. So I killed their bowman with a spell. He was the most dangerous one because he might have been able to shoot me from there. Okay, now I'm just going to end the turn because I want my... In fact, I'm going to have this guy step back out of the swamp onto... You can see the swamp. And one nice thing about this game, you can right-click. You can mouse over things and see a bit of a message. Or you can right-click and get an explanation of practically everything in the game, which is really nice. So when in a swamp, units are most vulnerable. Their defense and counterattack are decreased by 1, and it takes 4 movement points and a stamina point to move through swamp. So you just want to stay out of the swamp if you can, unless you're like a lizard man that is actually okay in the swamp. Oh, and when you're in battle here, you've got basically three main things that count. Your red bar is hit points. Your yellow bar is stamina. If you run out of stamina, gets used up every time you do something. And if you run out of stamina, you're exhausted and can't move until you rest a bit. And blue is morale. Morale is basically, it's morale. But what knocks morale down is things like being matched up in an army with people, like if you're good and they're evil, that kind of thing. Or having somebody die right next to you. Like, I just killed that bowman that was standing right there, and it hurt this guy's morale a little bit. His blue bar went down. If your blue bar gets all the way down, then you get so fearful you can't fight, and you just run away. Your character just runs away, and you can't stop it. Okay, so in turn, let them get a little closer. He still can't reach anybody. I'm going to shoot this thief back here because he can hit from a distance. Okay. And end turn. Okay, now there's a target because I can shoot this guy now. I don't know how loud. That's pretty loud to me, but... okay. And oh, by the way, the numbers next to each person's bars are how many squares they can move, or hexes. But they can't, that's not automatic because it depends on, like this guy right here, if he tries to move forward, he can't move forward 2 because 2 got used up on the forest. So that really only counts in the plains. If he moved into the swamp, that would use up to 4 points, so 4 movement points. Okay, so this brigand probably won't be able to come, yeah. Okay, now I'll shoot him again. Whack. Oh, he's still got a little left, so now we'll see if we can kill him before he gets here. Yay. Anytime you can finish a guy off in 1 hit so that he doesn't get to counterattack you, that's a good deal. Alright, end turn. Now my scout can shoot this guy. Now if he's still got 2, if he's going to have 2 movement points next turn, he'll be able to get here before this guy, he'll be able to reach this guy. So I'm going to move this guy back. Even though that's a little, I don't necessarily want to let him get to my scout, but I'm pretty sure he can only move 2. He'll have to stop there, and then I can jump on him. Yeah. I'll shoot him. Oh. Killed him anyway with my scout. Okay. So my scout just went up a level to level 1. I guess I start out at 0. So each time you go up a level, you get to choose from 3 things, 3 possible skills that you want to go up. Now he started out with reaction skill, so he could take it up to level 2. And level 2 reaction would give me 1 more initiative, 1 more range defense, and 1 more regular defense. Or you could get scouting, which gives you a 5% bonus on exploration and allows you to scout, which what that refers to is when you come into a battle, you can scout first to see how many of each thing are there. And then there's pathfinding, which helps you move through the countryside faster. So I don't know, it's kind of a toss-up. I'm going to take reaction. Okay. And then each of your guys has a chance to have gone up 2, and they always get a choice between 2 skills. So this guy right now gets a choice between counterattack or morale. I haven't really had a problem running out of morale lately. Really ever. Now that might change later. I might run into heroes that use fear spells a lot more or something, but so far I haven't really needed any more morale, so I'm just gonna take the other thing. Okay, so that hero's done. Now we're switching to the other hero, Tonkar, who went down here to the human settlement. And there's 5 people there. He also thinks the enemy is doomed. 5 people, militiamen, slinger, and spearmen. And we're just gonna attack. Okay. And I mean, as you can see, the layout is always different for each province. This one has some hills. The nice thing about hills is if you put your missile, your throwers on the hills, they can reach one hex further. If you stand on a hill in melee, battle, it gives you a little more, a little better statistics. So I think, let's see. Yeah, let's just stick it right here for now. Like, you can't put them out any further than right there. You can see where the hex goes, and then it disappears when I try to come over. So you basically got 4 rows that you can put your guys in. So and turn. All right, so now I can see where they're coming from. See, he's got his slinger on a hill too, but I don't think he'll be able to reach my guys regardless from there. The rest of his guys will be working their way through these. See, they'll have to either come through here or come around these lakes. So let's just put him on that hill. I think the deal with hills, well, now I won't be able to tell because I gotta look. Well, anyway, hills help you. Now I can tell. Yeah, when on high ground, the unit's defense, counterattack, and firing range are increased by 1. But they do slow you down, so you don't want to cross hills. You just want to stand on them. Okay, let's see if any. Oh, good. He can reach this guy. Whack. How about him? Yay. Whack. There we go. I always like to take out their missile launchers. Okay, this guy shouldn't be able to reach me because he's going to hit this swamp. That's going to stop him. This guy can get up, well, I don't know, we'll see. Okay. Now my guy here isn't tremendously strong at this point. He will be, but right now he's only got crappy armor and 25 hit points, so I can't just wade through all these guys like I would in some cases, but we'll see what happens here. Oh, by the way, if your hero gets killed, you can resurrect him. It just costs money, so you like to avoid that as much as you can. But we will see what happens here. That was easy enough. Okay, so the spearman here, he threw his spear at me, but he only gets to do that once, so after that, he's got to come at me. So, come at me, bro. Alright. Stay there. Alright. You can kind of see the attack, counter-attack thing going on there. Every time somebody attacks, assuming they don't kill the guy gets to bounce back with a counterattack. So, shows my party, shows what I won, shows the dead other guys. Alright. Now, this is something that comes up a lot, especially when you've just conquered a province. Because as the provinces grow, as the populations grow, the people need more space, and you create that space by exploring the province. So it's saying there's not enough space for new dwellings in the province of Unicorn Forest. The locals are afraid of settling in unexplored areas. You need to send a hero to explore new lands. So basically it just means that that province's population can't grow anymore until you go there and explore. I don't know if they get upset about it or if they just don't grow anymore. But that's what this little red, if you can see this little red shield thingy, whatever it is, I don't know what it's supposed to be, but it's a little red symbol that means this province is stuck. You know, its population is stuck until somebody comes along and explores it. And this one here now has a yellow, which means mild discontent. So these people are a little bit unhappy with the fact that I came and killed off their defenders, and they'll get over it though. Okay, now if I look at my hero. Okay, so this is the guy that went up a level, but he doesn't have any more. Sometimes when you go up a level, you'll get either more spaces in your army or more spaces for spells. He hasn't got anything like that yet. And this guy didn't go up yet. Okay. So, what I want to do now is, I would say, okay, I do not want to attack any trolls. They're pretty tough. So, I'll explore that province, because I need to do that anyway to let it expand more. And this one, what do we got here? Well, we've got undead. Let's check out the undead in the ancient ruins. Because exploring locations is really probably the best way to generate money in the early game. Okay. And now, what can we build this turn, or what should we build? Something that doesn't cost a lot. So the granary increases population growth. I think that's just in the headquarters, but it reduces the risk of famine. The altar, well, the altar opens up a lot of other things. So does the granary. Let's just do that. Now let's see how Eador is doing. Okay, he created, I guess, at least one hero. I can't really, if there were two, I don't think I'd be able to tell. It doesn't look like he's conquered anything yet, so that's good. I'm getting a leg up on him there. Okay, next turn. Okay, Tonkar has got to take on 6 zombies and skeletons. He says, I will easily defeat this enemy. I'm not really so sure about that, but I think he will. I don't know if it'll be easy, but we will see. One thing, he should be able to take out 3 skeletons with his 3 magic arrows. Okay. You can spacebar through all your people who still have something, still have moves left, but they can't reach anything yet. Magic arrow, whack. he's just... Now, different things have different, what would you say, defenses and so on. Skeleton is just like in D&D, or just like common sense. You can't do much damage to a skeleton with a rock, throwing a rock at it. You have to whack it with a big hammer or something. So, skeletons, basically, it's like they have good armor, so they don't take much damage from these kind of missiles. So I really should be whacking at the zombie over here with my slingers and let the skeleton run into my warrior. So he did some damage, but that's alright. Okay, let's take this. Okay, well, that took a bit of an edge off, but he's still going to get there. Zombies only move one hex at a time, so I'll just let the counterattack kill it. Okay, whack, whack, whack. Those guys don't do much damage, even to a zombie. Alright, so we all survived. We killed them good. So Tonkar is going up a level. He can either go up to 2 in willpower, 1 in combat, which gives him precise strike and parry. Oh, I like athletics. Athletics is a good one because it gives him a forced march, which lets him march an extra hex in battle if you want to. Oh, going again. And athletics level 2 gives him recuperation. Oh, that's a good one. Okay. My slinger here can either have another hit point or can have another ammo shot. I'll take the ammo shot for now. Take the hit point between those two. And got some loot. Alright. Now, if somebody explores and doesn't find anything new, then you just get one of these messages. He explored 5% more of the land, didn't find anything. Continue exploring. Okay. So there's nothing left. There's no buildings left to enter in this province, so Tonkar here might as well move on down. Ooh, he's got room for another guy now. So he should go back and get another guy. Go back to the HQ to do that. And now the little red symbol that means you need to explore has gone away here, so let's see what's up here. Free settlement swamp, okay. I probably need to get a little tougher, before, get another level or 2 before I go out another step from the HQ, because things do get tougher when you get out there. So I'm just going to go there. Okay. Have I built anything yet this turn? I guess not. Okay. So, this is cheap. What do I need for this? It's nice that it shows you what you need for each thing. This crystal of power requires the tavern and the altar. I don't have the altar yet. Okay. The altar's cheap. Let's do that. See, and then I can build the crystal of power next turn. Can't build this turn, but next turn I can. Okay, so that's everything this turn, I would say. And let's go. Lartan is up against 5 militia types. And again, he says, looks like we go in without casualties. I don't know if that's supposed to be... I think that's less confident than when he says the enemy is doomed. But we will attack and see. Okay, we got a little bit of cover here with this rock, so we'll just stay here in the corner. Alright, let's start blasting away. Oh, almost took him out. Not sure why they're running up there. Huh. Let's get him. Let's get this guy. Now, one thing about this game, just in general, is you have to be careful. You have to hang back. You have to keep your guys alive. At least playing the way I play. Forge ahead, act now and think later strategy just doesn't work. I always get overextended and end up losing everything. So I think at least that you have to have you have to think about your weaknesses. And so, like right there, running out there, like, run out there and kill those two guys. That's fine because these guys are too far away to do any damage. But if they weren't, I'm opening up a path for them to come right through here, which could be dangerous. So basically, you kind of have to think, don't attack unless you're sure that you're going to be safe, or that, unless you're just desperate to get something killed off, because otherwise it's going to get healed or something like that. But you do have to think ahead quite a bit. Alright, I'm out of arrows, right? Yeah, or I'm out of magic arrows, but I got my regular arrows back. Okay, so let's back this guy down in here. Back this one back down in here. There we go. Now we'll get another shot at him as he comes in. Because, see, this guy's injured, and I just, I don't want to get him killed. Get him out there alone and get him killed. So they do get a chance. They do get some healing in between turns, but it's a lot faster if you have a healer in your group. So I'll be getting one of them at some point. Okay, so my choices here. I could get a level 3 reaction, which gives me a speed +1, or marksmanship, or diplomacy. I think I'm going to get the reaction. Okay, hit points, counterattack, hit points. Okay. Alright, Tonkar is back home. He needs a 4th guy. I guess for now, I'll just take this thief that's hanging out here. See, my thief, the thief doesn't like being in my party because I'm too nice a guy. Basically, is what's going on. Because I, the master, am a nice guy. I guess that reflects on my heroes, and so he's got a slight -1 to his morale. It's not really important as only 1. One thing you got to keep an eye on is your equipment gets worn down, and so, like right now, your durability, you got to keep an eye on your durability. So my armor right now is 26 out of 30. Spear is 25 out of 30. Shield is 27 out of 30. If anything gets down to 0, it breaks and doesn't work until you get it fixed. And so, you gotta come in and repair stuff once in a while. If you click that, it just repairs all the stuff you're carrying, and you're good. So everything's back up to maximum. That can get kind of expensive. It's not right now because all my stuff is crap anyway, but the more expensive stuff is more expensive to maintain too. So now he's got a Cure Wounds scroll, which he could drag down in here to one of his spell slots, but I don't think I want that more than a magic arrow right now. We'll just stick with those. Okay, and so now my scout is up there. He's ready for another guy also. Okay, well, let's bring him home then. And let's send the warrior out to kill some lizardmen. And let's build Crystal O Power. This thing, the main thing here is that it gives you a way to get quests. It'll give you a quest, and so we'll see how that works in a bit here. Rather than have him go out, let's have him go into the crystal. Once you build it, then you can send a hero into the crystal. Okay, end turn. Alright, so Tonkar is in the crystal, and he can choose a quest of low difficulty. I don't know what you have to do to get a quest of medium or high difficulty. I guess it just comes later in the game. And it just gives you a random quest, and in this case I have to kill 9 skeletons. So, kill 9 skeletons and come back and I'll get a reward. Okay, we've got another province getting full. Alright, so Tonkar the warrior, he's good to go now with his quest. He needs to go out and find some skeletons to kill, amongst other things. And my scout, he needs another dude. Give him a thief. Needs to repair his equipment. Now he still doesn't have decent armor. To get that, I guess I could go ahead and build the workshop. Let's do that. It's not that expensive with only 1 wood required. See, that adds things up here that you can buy, and the main one that I care about right now is the armor, leather armor, and let's get another batch of arrows. Just have a backup in case my arrows run out. You know, they don't run out like you don't use them up, but I mean the durability runs out fast. And then you have to repair them, which is basically like buying more arrows. Okay, now where does he need to go? Let's go back over here and explore this some more, because the red icon is back. Okay, did I just build something? I did, okay. Sometimes I lose track. Did I build that this turn or last turn? Alright, warrior has entered the province. He's got 4 lizardmen to kill, just like I guessed. He could negotiate, but now it's why negotiate when you can just kill lizardmen? Alright. Let's start whacking them while they're still far away. I've never really used the thief that much. The thief has a single. Well, he's got 3 ammo. I guess he can shoot 3 times. Kind of funny, the little story here, because this is an army. I mean, even though it's like 6 guys, it's considered considered an army. And so let's say, for a thief to join, most thieves, like self-respecting thieves would never join the army. And so these thieves are like, really the bottom of the barrel thieves. They're cheap though. They only cost, I thought their cost showed up here somewhere. I guess not. But anyway, they're cheap to buy, and they what's the other thing? When they attack, you don't get to counterattack them back. They don't cause a counterattack, which is a benefit for sure. Okay. Anybody can reach him yet? Nope. Okay. Let's just back him back in there. I think he's just as well back out of the way a little bit. Oh, that's right. Lizardmen have a certain amount of natural healing. I thought he could reach. I guess he can only reach 2, and this is actually 2.5. Bummer. Wow, that kind of stung. Well, I guess this lizardman's gonna get to hit me. I don't know if he's going to hit my hero or if he's going to go around him and hit one of these guys. We'll see what happens. As it turned out, the other lizard kind of cut him off, so he didn't have a choice. Okay, let's see if everyone else can kill this guy. Nope. So I better do it. Okay, now the other lizard will get here, but I should be able to absorb him. I guess he's, yeah, alright. I've got that turned up really loud on. Hopefully it's not too loud on the tape. Okay, I can go athletics again for a speed +1. Or I could start bumping up one of these other things. I kind of like Constitution one too. More hit points and stamina. Okay. See, for these guys, your slingers, if the enemy gets right up on top of your slingers to where counterattack matters, they're probably dead anyway. So I'll add ammo instead. Okay. Now, lizard men are not happy about being conquered by a lousy human. And so that's why they're very discontented. Oh, rituals you can do. There's certain rituals you can do, which you get along with certain things that you build or that you find. And this one's called Enchanted Coffer. When you place this in a province, this coffer gets magically filled with gold. The quantity depends on the province's population level. The population mood in the province is lowered. It can only be performed in a populated province. So, basically, this pisses off the province, but it gets you a bunch of money. It's not a huge amount of money. It's not like it's going to win the game for you. But each ritual can be done a certain frequency. And so, like this one, I think it's 10, or no, can be done every 4 turns. So different ones can be done at different frequencies. So like, I would probably, if I was going to do that one, I would do it in a happy, in a happy province. I don't have any really happy provinces yet. Quiet is the best I've got. And I've got 2 that are discontented, and 1 that's very discontented. Okay. So this guy is still doing his thing. Exploring. I guess this guy, he's still looking for skeletons. Now, Thieves Guild, sometimes those are pretty tough. They can have like 9 thieves in them, which is too tough for him right now. Wouldn't be later on, but we'll just have him explore because that province is full. What to build? Let's see. Right now, a lot of things are kind of expensive to build because I don't have the resources yet. So I'm inclined to wait or just build something like this theater or show booth that doesn't really cost anything extra. The fact that you can only build one of these things every turn kind of gives you some urgency. Like, I want to get things built because I'm going to want such and such, You don't want to waste too many turns not building anything, but this early in the game, it's kind of hard to come up with the money to build something every time. Let's go see how the bad guy's doing over here. Wow, he hasn't gone outside his province yet, his home province. He must just be exploring and maybe clearing some locations within his HQ. Huh. You can do it that way, but I don't know. I like to spread out a little bit and get some options going. Okay, explore. Okay, neither one of them found anything, but now we've got an event. A tree bearing gold coins has grown in the province of Unicorn Forest overnight. Legend has it this tree is sacred and it is strictly forbidden to pick its fruit. So this is where you get all these little events that give you a chance to be either a nice guy or a mean guy or whatever. So you can say guard it, only take the fruits that fall, which costs you some money because guarding the fruit or guarding the tree costs money. But then you get the gold coins that fall. So if you do that, it's going to say, well, the income in the province went up. You can forbid anyone to pick the coins. I don't know what that does for you. Maybe nothing. You can say reap the golden harvest. In other words, chop it down and take it all, I guess. Or fell the tree and gather. Or maybe that just means go ahead and take all the coins that are hanging on it. Or fell the tree and gather the gold. So basically you have, just different choices you can do. So I'm going to do the first one. Guard it and take the fruits that fall. The golden tree crop has increased income for the province of Eador, enforced by 2 gold coins per day. So it costs me 100, which means it's going to take 50 days for that to pay off. 50 turns, which is kind of not a very good return, honestly. But I think there's a certain amount of randomness in those events. Sometimes one option is really the best one to choose. Sometimes something else is, so you never know. But those things all affect your karma score as far as what kind of a player you are and how the other things in the game react to you. Okay, he's finished exploring there. So let's have him come back to here. Or let's just have him come there. And he's finished exploring, and so let's have him come there. Ooh, he can add another guy. But let's go ahead and clear this one first, if we can. Can we build a building? Or should we build a building? Well, everything's expensive right now until I get something else to work with. What I usually like to get, I like to get the healer. See, these down here are the more evil ones. One small translation issue is that these guys, well, not just these guys, but some of them are called unscrupulous. I'm like, well, that doesn't sound so bad, unscrupulous. But unscrupulous is like the mild version of evil in this game. So I think the word they were, it's just a tiny translation thing that we probably would have used a different word. But basically you go from, good to, I think, kind, and then neutral, and then on the downside you get unscrupulous, and then evil, and then I think there's one more. There's a completely evil, but that's not it. But and there's one above. There's one or two above good too. But I think lawful is a little less than good. I don't know. There's a range. Okay. Alright, he's going to shoot 5, just like before. Let's put my scout on a hill so he can shoot a little further. But he's going to use these things first. Whack. Whack-a-mole. Whack-a-slinger. You shoot me with your big spears. Okay, so now if I run forward and kill that guy, then I gotta ask, what is this guy gonna be up to while I do that? And what's this guy gonna be up to? He can come right down here and hit this guy, who only has 12 of his 17 points left. He probably won't get killed immediately unless he gets attacked by 2 people. So let's do that. Now this guy can throw that. Okay. And this guy could even step in front of this guy to kind of protect him, or he could jump out there and attack. But I'd rather hang back and let him come to me. All right, whack. Okay, not bad. I mean, the ideal is to finish without taking any damage, but that's pretty hard to do at this stage of the game. Alright, he's got a similar situation, only 4 guys. Battles get more interesting as you go along. They're not, there's not that much to them at this point. Let's move our guys down here. Actually, well, shoot. I don't know. It doesn't make a whole lot of difference. Somebody's going to be standing in the swamp either way. Making it look easy here. Alright. Okay, he's got room for a guy. Second level guy, actually, although I don't have any second level guys yet to get, I'm sure. Alright, so now I've cleaned up I've conquered the six provinces right around me. Actually, what do we got here? Well, no, let's go back and get a guy. I'm just wondering if he can go out one more layer to the next province. I guess it won't hurt to see what's out there. Because all this stuff is going to get expensive if I don't start taking some of those resources. And by the way, these lizard men are probably going to keep getting ticked until they revolt, which is usually how it goes. But got some time before that happens. Okay, he says the enemy stands no chance. It's a horse archer and a horseman. Well, it's 3. I have horse archer and horseman. I don't know. We'll give it a shot. They're tougher than me, but I have more guys. I don't know about this one. He might be overly optimistic. Because this guy here, 17 hit points. These guys 13, but they can shoot from a distance. If I can kill one of them before they get close, that would help. Yikes. That'll help. Okay, I don't actually know what's going to do the most damage, if I whack him with a spell, or if I just shoot him. Right now it says my range attack does 6 damage. I don't know if there's any bonuses on that or anything. And this does 8 points of magic damage, which I think means they're less likely to be able to resist it. So let's just do that. This guy's almost dead, which is probably just going to happen because I got no way to heal him or get him to safety or anything. So, and one thing about the thief is he throws a poison dart. I'm pretty sure. Maybe that's an ability he gets later. Huh. Oh, that stinks. He's taken 15% of my looting income. Yeah. Huh. I thought he caused poison, but I guess he doesn't. Okay. I'm not going to attack. Because of the counterattack, I don't want to attack this horse and have it counterattack. He'll probably kill the guy, so he may do it anyway, but no, he killed that guy instead. Okay, I'm out of magic arrows, so I'll have to just use regular ones. This is going to be close. Got him. Cost me my guys, but we got him. Diplomacy, scouting, or archery. I'm going to take diplomacy. There are some options and events and things that I think that helps with. The dwarves put a large amount of iron on the market, and the price decreases by 34%. Yay. It won't matter once I take this province over here, but it makes it a little cheaper in the meantime. Okay, so I took this province that produces horses. What that means is now everything in here that requires horses, I don't have to pay an extra premium for the horses. I have my own horses. Okay, so I can do this. Okay, he can get this guy, or, well, that's what he can do. He can get this guy. That's all I got available right now until I build some more schools. Okay. That's not useful to him. It might be useful to a wizard later on. Okay, he's got to come home and get some more guys. That's his only job right now. Alright, Tonkar. He needs some skeletons to kill. Let's see if I can find some skeletons. Go to the province map. Now we got some more provinces to look at. And if you click on this down here, it'll show you the locations in each one. That one has orcs and brigands, trolls, bandits, inquisitors. Okay, no known skeletons yet, so we'll just have to go exploring. Yeah. So he can explore just right here. He doesn't have to go out to a province and explore, because this is only 40% explored. So let's just explore there, and he's coming home. Alright, next turn. Continue exploring. Okay, so our scout is back. Alright, before he can hire guys, we got to get something built for him to hire guys from. Yeah, these things are all still expensive because of the lack of... What I like to buy usually is a healer. You can only build 4 of these things. Usually I like to get the healer, the swordsman, or the pikeman. Usually the pikeman for sure. The crossbowman, and then either the swordsman or the shooting ground. But those are all expensive right now, so... I think... Take the spearman. And now I can hire them, and they're not they're not any extra. So and they're tougher than the militiamen. They're like a step up from them. And in fact, let's get rid of this thief guy because he's taking 15% of my loot. Okay. I guess that's got him cleaned up. So let's see if he can take that one to get us some wood resource. And let's see if Tonkar can go take that one. Now it's going to take him 2 turns to get there because he's going through the swamp. It'd be the same way if he went through the forest because he doesn't have the extra scouting, pathfinding skills that my scout does at this point. Okay. Can build this. Already built this turn. Okay. Next turn. Okay, he's got to take out 3 giant spiders. They can be kind of tough, but there's only 3 of them. I think we'll be okay. Let's put the scout on the hill. Put the spearman in front of him. Okay. So let's start blasting away with magic arrows before they get here. See, these guys, if you get to within 2 hexes of something, they can throw their spear. But I'm just a little worried about them getting out of formation and leaving an opening. This one can come out here and kill this one. Let's stop at that. Man, he did some damage there. Okay, I'm out of spells, so let's just whack. Okay, can we kill this one? Oh, hell. Well, let this guy do it. He's only got 1 point left, it looks like. Let's throw a spear. Yay, we did it. Okay, so now we've got wood as a resource also. His guys are a little hurt, so it wouldn't hurt to rest him for a turn. Ah, there's some undead, so this guy can come over and kill some undead there after he finishes taking this iron. What's this down here? Barbarians, okay. Let's stay here and explore for 1 turn. See, now wood is not lit up. Now I can... Whatever requires wood is cheap for me now. Let's get that. Is my enemy doing anything yet? Well, he came out of his hobbit hole finally. Conquered 2 provinces. It's kind of interesting being able to watch him this time. Normally you can't see him until you meet up with him somewhere. Ooh, 7. 7 enemies, including... Ooh, thugs are tough. So yeah, he says need a stronger army to win. We're going to back off for that. Alright. Well, instead, let's have him come down and kill undead. Let's have this guy. Well, his guys are still hurt. Um, I can come right here and explore, because this back closer to home, they'll be easier. So I could go ahead and build this thing, even though it is going to take 1 iron, so it's a little more expensive than would be otherwise. But or there we go, increase income from horses. That's a good one. Now you can also build buildings out in your provinces sometimes. Like here, I can build a granary. And the reason for that is that then I can upgrade the granary into a stable on another turn, and that'll add money to my horse income coming from this province. Okay. And like many things in this game, you can only build one building in all your provinces together. You can build one building each turn. So you can build one building in your headquarters, in one building elsewhere, and that's it per turn. Okay, peasants in some province have found an ancient burial ground. It is rumored among the locals that this is a pagan shrine of the remote ancestors, and many people begin to bring flowers to the ancient graves, paying tribute to the memory, blah, 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 blah. Raise a stele to honor the dead. That sounds good. Or you can say, don't distract me, which is kind of a neutral response. Or you can say, dig up the tombs in search of treasure, which is the evil response. So we'll go with the nice one. While building the obelisk, the workers accidentally disturbed several tombs. After that, it is rumored among the locals that this obelisk is now damned and will bring misfortune on anyone who takes a look at it. So, like I said, the options always could go either way. So, I could either tear it down now, which could make things worse, or fix it, or whatever, or I can perform a cleansing ritual, which I will do because it only costs me gems, and I always have plenty of gems. And I guess it worked out okay, so. Alright. Okay, so he's gonna explore there. He's still coming to here to kill skeletons. Okay, back at the headquarters. I can't afford that yet. That's what I need to do to allow me to upgrade my granary to a stable. Increases population growth. We'll do that one. Getting low on money here, and the main thing that makes you money is exploring things and killing things, and I haven't done that in a couple of turns, which is why I'm running low. Okay, end of turn. Continue exploring. Nope. He went up a level from exploring. Looting, archery, or diplomacy. Let's go ahead and bump diplomacy again. Your spies report lightning struck a boulder in the province of Thunder Steps, causing it to split in two and reveal a small gold vein. Well, let's set up a gold mining operation. Your subjects have worked the whole boulder and mined 146 gold. Reward them for their good work. Why not? See, that's one of those times when I could have just taken the money. And I ended up spending 100 to get 146, so I made 46, but I could have made 76 by just taking the money and not giving them a reward. And I guess that would have been the neutral thing to do. Anyway. Okay, he needs to attack these undead. And he needs to explore some more. And can we do anything in here? We could build one of these things for equipment, but I don't think that's going to help much right now. Could build a brewery. Increases population mood and morale. Yeah, let's just hang on to the money for now. The enemy is doomed. Ooh, 8 of them. What has he got again? Ooh, boy. I don't know. It seems kind of evenish. It's probably 1 ghoul, which are tougher than skeletons or zombies. Hopefully it's not more than 1. I will give it a shot. Yeah, only 1 ghoul. Okay. Ghouls cause disease, and disease kills you slowly over, well, not really that slowly, but disease kills you over a matter of turns. You lose hit points each turn. So let's kill the ghoul if we can. Well, I didn't kill him, but we're going to get him down. I hate to use up 2 spells on him, but there we go. We don't have to worry about his damn disease now. I should have known a thief wouldn't do diddly to a skeleton. See, he did a lot more damage once he was actually on top of the guy. Or on top of the skeleton, I should say. Might lose a guy or 2 here, but okay, I'm out of spells, so he's got to just spam back. He's already used his spear, his throwing spear. Let's have to take a little bit of a chance with my warrior here, I guess, if I'm going to keep my other guys alive. Once your warrior gets up to about 50 points or so of hit points, plus better armor and weapons and stuff, you can just kind of stand him in the middle of a crowd, and everybody else will just bounce off him and die. But can't quite do that yet. Oh, he did some damage there. This guy might be about to die. I shouldn't have let him shoot. I should have moved him. He's gonna die unless I can kill this skeleton with this shot right here. Oop. Well, he died instead. There we go. Well, not terrible. Lost 1 guy. Willpower, combat, blacksmithing. It's his equipment. He uses the most expensive equipment, so his gets expensive as you go along. Recuperation. Stamina. Ammo. Ooh, a wand for a wizard later. Okay, so he's up to 4 skeletons on his quest, which is good. He's got an opening because the guy just died. I need to go back and get a guy. And he's still exploring. Ooh, he can get another spell. That'd be nice. Alright. Well, I think that's actually going to be a decent place to stop for tonight. I've been at this for I don't know how long. Less than 2 hours, I think, but more than one. So now my enemy has most of his first ring, explored. But he still hasn't found any resources. Or, captured any resources. He's got this province, but he hasn't uncovered the iron in it yet. So I should be ahead of him on just general development. But we shall see. I'll be back another night to play some more on this. I'll do like I did with Stardew Valley. I'll just keep recording this whenever I play it. And then I'll end up with a series of videos that covers one whole shard. In this case, my home world shard. So by the time I'm finished with the shard, hopefully I'll win. I think I should, but I don't know. I don't really know how much of an advantage this other guy might have started with or anything like that, but we'll see how it goes. We'll just keep expanding out from here. Really need to get this iron and get this mandrake, but I need to toughen up my guys a little bit before I tackle those that far away. But I guess that'll do it for tonight. So I'll see you next time, and thanks for watching.